Hello everyone, this is Crystal with Slick Trade, and in this presentation I'm going to go over the prediction and analysis for this upcoming week. Alright, first of all I'd like to say happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful one and that you have someone special to share it with. Second of all, the Fultron, if you did not see in Twitter and the room and the posts and everything, the Fultron is the EA for the Follow the Trend strategy, and that is now released. There was one member that had a couple positions open on one trade. We are currently looking into that. I haven't had that happen to me personally, but we are looking into that, so please be aware of that. And if you do experience anything like that, please send it in to us, along with the operating system you're using and the version of MetaTrader 4, okay? Any information will help because I want to make sure that you're all, have an EA that's working correctly for you. So, last week, actually, two of the currency pairs hit Take Profit 1 and 2, and then the other two hit Take Profit 1, 2, and 3. So hopefully you guys got in those and made yourself some decent money. I know everyone's killing it with the Patriot and with the Follow the Trend Fultron strategy in EA. I hope you guys are enjoying that and the additional low-risk signals that have been coming out from it. All of those short signals that were sent out hit their 25 pip take profit level, and then a few of them reached, I think it was like close to 60 pips. So again, another additional 100 to 200 pips in a week is awesome. I'll take it, especially with low risk. So for the upcoming week, right now we're looking at the GBP USD, and we're in kind of a what I like to call a consolidation period, okay? Back here a couple weeks ago, we finally kind of left our overall downtrend that had been happening for a while there, okay? Most of the year, actually, I think it was. If you look at like the daily chart, and we finally crossed over that 200 moving average, okay, and started the overall uptrend, okay. Right now, if you look at this week here, excuse me, we're kind of in the consolidation. It's going below the 200, then going up. It's not really, it is still making higher highs and higher lows, okay, so it's in an overall uptrend. Right now we are at the 200 moving average, okay. So my thought is that price is going to continue up, all right. Right here, the three take profit levels, and they're in the post as usual. I personally would set a stop loss that's below these lows, okay. If your account is not able to handle that, I would skip out on the trade, just because it's in kind of that consolidation period where it's kind of going back and forth. It's not really hitting the 200 and heading back up and hitting, above the 200 and going back up. It's kind of, I think, continuing to make up its mind, but I do feel we are, in that overall uptrend, okay? So, again, just, watch your positions, but I think overall we'll be still continuing to head up, all right? If we take a look at the Fultron on the GU, okay, again, we're above that 200, okay? The candles are blue, or teal, or whatever. They're not purple. We ended the week with another cross to the upside, okay, so we had one here. That was one of the signals, actually, was right here. And then it kind of came back down, but we still continued up. All right, so we're above all the moving averages. We are at a pivot level currently, right here. If you look at this, MR1, this is a resistance level. So I think what's going to occur is it's just going to kind of head up right away. EU. EU is showing a beautiful uptrend. Okay, we are getting closer to that 200 moving average. We ended the week with a buy semaphore dot. Okay, if we take a look at the oscillator, price is starting to come back up a little bit. Okay, so I think overall we're gonna head into an uptrend right away, or long position. The 3 take profit levels are here. If it continues to create higher highs and higher lows, then we might break this previous resistance level. Okay, so be sure to trail stop and make as much pit potential that you can. RSI hit the low of the 30 and it's kind of headed back up again. So again, we have all of the indicators showing that it's ready to head up. It already had its dip down and rise. As you can see, when you're in that uptrend, what happens is first price crosses. Okay, it kind of goes through that consolidation period, makes up its mind, type of a thing is the way I like to word it. Makes its overall cross, makes a heavy move, dips down. When it's in an overall uptrend, you want to buy on the dips. And if you're in an overall downtrend, you want to sell on the rises. Okay, so here is our rise, here's our dip. We want to buy. Okay, right there. A dip back down. Okay, again, buy. Dip back down. So that's why I'm saying a long position. If we take a look at the EU on the Voltron setup, right here. Excuse me, we are below these two. We did cross to the downside. Okay, it's bringing it back toward that 200 moving average. However, again, we are kind of on that dip. If we take and draw in a channel, well, actually, I'm not drawing a channel. I'm just going to do the overall line here. Okay, so not the best line. Okay, not the best trend line, but as you can see, price kind of hit here, came back down, dipped down, up, dips down, up, dips down, up, and now we're right back to that line again. Okay, so it most certainly could, break down and head into a downtrend, but overall we're in that uptrend. Okay, so this is a great entry for low risk, really. If it breaks this previous low, then we may be headed into either a consolidation period where it kind of moves along this, it's kind of flat 200 moving average, okay, or it could head into an overall downtrend, okay. But overall, I think it's going to head into the long position, continue what it's already doing. USD CHF, this is a weird one. Normally, the EU and the UC, okay, are like a mirrored image, okay, and as you can see, that did happen to a degree. Okay, Euro USD did go into a longer consolidation than the UC, okay. And as you can see, it is mirrored, okay. EU has been heading up, UC has been heading down, okay. However, if you take a look at this, it is still creating, or it was still creating the lower highs and the lower lows, but right here at the end of the week, it ended with that the sell semaphore. Okay, it's showing an overall downtrend, but this gap in between the 200 moving average and price currently, okay, is making me think that price is initially probably going to head down a little bit, but I think it's going to come back up, okay? I really think it's going to come back up to this resistance level, okay? Now I know that kind of contradicts what's going on here with the EU, because normally when I say a short on the EU, I'd say a long on the UC, and vice versa. But this gap makes me think, like I said, that price is going to rise some before it either continues in its overall downtrend or maybe it flips around completely. So that's my thought. If we look at the AU, we're in that consolidation period is kind of where I'm at. We've got a flat line on the 200. There's no real trend showing. If we look at the AU on the Fultron, you're seeing the same thing. Okay. It did end the week, though, with the moving averages, the 26 and, excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, the 26 and the 12, all right, these shorter, this blue and the magenta colored, they did cross up, and we are above the 200 moving average. So my thought is that it will do that. It will head to the upside. Now I put the 3 take profit levels at previous resistance levels, okay? I don't know that it's going to continue in an overall uptrend, but I do think it will kind of hit in between these levels right here, okay? Previous high and low. So what I'm thinking is all long positions this week, and again, I know it's weird with the EU and UC because they're usually mirrored, but I think this might head down a little bit because we did end with that semaphore, the sell semaphore, and then I think it's going to head up toward that 200 moving average. Okay, and again, long position, and long position, just because of where they're at in relation to this 200 moving average and what price did last week. So that's my thoughts. Currently working very hard on the Patriot Expert Advisor. I know you guys love it. I know many of you have been asking about it. It is in the works. What we're going to do is actually, Curtis in the room said he'd like to see an indicator that kind of gives an arrow when it sets up instead of having all these indicators running together at once. So we are working on that. It'll make things easier to follow, kind of like the Fultron is. Basically, you see the arrow, you're entering, and if you're familiar with the Fultron, it's only giving you long positions, not these shorts when it's in an overall uptrend. Okay. So this is, let me show you real quick here, just in case if you haven't looked at it. This is a long. This would not have signaled. This is a long. This would not have signaled, and that's a long. Okay, again, that would not have signaled. So, unless if you have it set in the Expert Advisor to go ahead and give you both. Okay, because you do have that option as well. If you want to get a signal every time that there's an arrow, you can set it up to do that. I personally just like to kind of stick with the overall trend. It's lower risk. So, but anyways, we'll have kind of the same type of thing with the Patriot, where it gives you an arrow when all of the indicators have set up together. So thank you for that input, Curtis. I'm glad we're able to, kind of meet the needs of all you guys. And I will see you guys in the room tomorrow, okay? Have a great rest of your Valentine's Day, and I'll talk to you later.